I'm Congressman Andre Carson. Not only do I represent Indiana's 7th Congressional District very proudly, but I happen to be a Muslim and a former police officer.
All right, the House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi doing a little off mic, or what she thought was an off mic, a little reminder here, telling Indiana's Democratic Congressman Andre Carson to the crowd that he was a Muslim, obviously referring to the administration's efforts to scale back that travel, or to increase a tighter scrutiny on that travel ban, delay, whatever you want to call it, for regions of the world that were deemed heavily Muslim. So this must be anti-Muslim. Nowhere in that order and nowhere in that directive does that even come up. The founder and president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. Of course, what did you make, Zuhdi, right off with Nancy Pelosi kind of coaching him to say what he said?
You know, Neil, thanks for covering this, because this is epic. It's beyond simply a hot mic moment. This is epic. It is the left exposing itself that it uses Muslims as a prop. I mean, this respectable, honorable congressman was basically patronized into reminding himself that he's Muslim. I mean, imagine, Neil, if she had said, tell him you're a Jew, tell him you're a Christian. I mean, it shows that they're all about identity politics. They want to use Muslims as one simple lens, one collective identity. I mean, who's the bigots here? It is, I think, bigoted to look upon us Muslims as one and say that we are an identity group. And this is how they're looking at these 7 countries. Oh, it's all part for the Muslim world. Anyone coming from there must be anti-Muslim, when in fact, true freedom-loving Americans look at it through a lens of diversity. So if the left, Neil, really cares about diversity, this exposes the curtains pulled back, that they're actually bigots who look upon us Muslims as a useful minority in their partisan politics.
Zuhdi, do you think it should be linked to the hearings that are coming with Neil Gorsuch, the Supreme Court Justice pick? Because a number of Democrats have said they would link their support to rolling back the administration this directive.
Well, the link, I think, is about, you know, Judge Gorsuch's history on religious freedom. If you truly believe in religious freedom and the American first freedom, then look at his opinions about how he stood for any minority's views of protection from the government for those beliefs. So before they try to label the right as anti-Muslim or whatever they might do, look at his opinions there, and then see what the left does when the mic is hot and they don't think it is, where they use Muslims as an identity group and don't really look. I mean, it's amazing to me when I see them in the Muslim groups they march with. These are homophobic, far, far right extreme groups in our community, but yet they march with them because they think they can use them, when in fact they don't share any of their feminist values and the so-called values of the progressive left, but they're actually regressive.
So you do not take offense to a directive that some said would disproportionately target Muslims. You do not see it as that.
No, I think it should target jihadists. It targets those ideological groups that should be vetted, and we have not been for 8 years. And the bottom line is there's nothing more American, Neil, than vetting against theocrats. That's not what the Constitution protects. It was actually founded by founders who were protecting us from theocracy. So why can't Muslims go through the same thing? And we embrace freedom-loving Muslims that want democracy, believe in our universal human rights. That's what we need to start vetting. And I hope the commission that the President has promised and will put together, I hope, on radical Islam, starts to put together criteria that our Muslim reform movement talks about. But the way to get there, Neil, is not to generalize all Muslims as one, as some type of identity group.
Zuhdi Jasser, thank you. Very good seeing you again. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Neil. Anytime.